standing in front of my bookshelf, which means this is going to be a book/reading related video. Okay, I'm gonna cut to the chase. You already seen the title of the video, you know what's going on. Basically, I'm reorganizing and trying to declutter some of my books. I don't have a crazy amount of books. If you look at the booktubers on here, I don't have a crazy amount of books, okay? But I do have a pile of books down here that I need to go through, and I really just want to just kind of go over my books again and see, you know, which ones I think I'm actually gonna get to and read and what I want to keep and what I can probably get rid of. I've been doing a bit of a life/condo declutter, and I'm very much in the mood to let go of things that I've held on to for too long, that I'm just not, you know, I'm not gonna get to it, I'm not gonna do anything with it, I haven't really thought about it, like it's just, I need to do that. So even though I'm not anticipating getting rid of a lot of books, I do want to go through things again and just double check and then go through this pile that's down here that you can't quite see what I'm keeping. I know that a lot of them are books that I'm actually giving away, but I haven't given them away yet because I have I have a plan for what I'm gonna do with the books, which I'll talk about in another video. But today I just wanted to go through everything and have like a distinct pile for books that I'm going to be giving away and books I'm going to be keeping. Get all the books that I'm keeping to fit on these two shelves. Also in this video, I wanted to do an update of my TBR jar. This is my TBR jar. If it's not obvious from the name, I did this back in 2018, okay? I write down the titles of all of the books that I own and I put them in this jar. Obviously, I have acquired more books since 2018. It's not up to date. And yeah, essentially all the books that I've yet to read are gonna be in this jar. I'm not really a mood reader or anything. There are occasionally times where I'm like, okay, I know I wanna read this book, or you know, like I'm excited for a book, or I've thought about a book and I wanna read it. I'll do it, I'll go and read that book. But often I'm just like, I don't know, because I'm like, I could read any of these books. I don't really know. So I created this jar to help with that, and I would shake it up, pick one out, and then that's the book that I would read. So I would like to update this. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do it. So first things first, we're gonna go through the pile of books that's on the floor, and then we'll work on the shelf. Also, if you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Diane. I work in film and television as an on-set props person, but I'm also working toward becoming a self-published author, and I make videos about that and my writing process, my life, and all that stuff here on YouTube. And you're watching one of those videos, so subscribe if you like the vibe. So yeah, let's get into the books. I'm gonna have to do this in chunks. So last year I did a lot of thrift shopping, and the main things that I buy when I go thrift shopping are books, DVDs, VHS tapes, as you'll see, and oversized men's button-ups, this one in particular. So I do have a handful of books that are from last year. They're still sitting in this bag from the thrift store because I haven't had room to put them anywhere on my shelf. So I'm gonna go through them again, double check that I still want to keep them, and then we'll move on from there. If you know me at all, you'll know that Stephen King is my favorite author, and I don't get rid of Stephen King books unless they're like I bought them twice by accident, or you know, somebody gifts me a copy and I already have that book. Although technically I do have 2 copies of it, but that's only because I really like the other copy, but the original copy that I have is like very special to me. If you watch my last video where I'm reorganizing my bookshelf, you'll know why. I'll have that linked somewhere. That copy's special to me, so I don't want to let it go. So yeah, keeping this book. This isn't a book, but it's the VHS of Scream 3. Michael Crichton, Eaters of the Dead. I have not read this book. I am also a very big fan of Michael Crichton. I have like a little collection going of his books, so I'm keeping this one. Another Michael Crichton, this one's called Sphere. Keeping it. Okay, I think we may have found our first, I don't know though. Hang on. This is called The Boy from the Woods by Harlan Coben. I don't even remember buying this, to be honest, but it's giving me vibes and I kind of want to keep it. The man known as Wild is a mystery to everyone, including himself. Decades ago, he was found as a boy living feral in the woods. Keeping it. I don't even need to read the rest of it. I'm a really big Elvis Presley fan. I'm gonna keep it. Revolutionary Road. Here's my goal for today. I want to get rid of at least 3 books from my shelf. There are a bunch that I'll be getting rid of that are in this bin, but I want to get rid of at least 3 from my shelf that are currently on there. I have a really hard time getting rid of books, so this is hard for me. I do want to watch the movie. Do I want to read the book? I do want to read the book. Ugh, I'm keeping it. Got some more DVD. You know what I should... Of course I'm keeping this. Again, if you know me at all. Brendan Fraser. The chokehold this man has on me, I can't explain it. Blair Witch Project, classic, please. Blair Witch Project 2, I'm keeping it. because I'm a horror fan. Also really big on Robin Williams. I know these aren't books, but just know that I'm keeping all these things. Ooh, Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood. Keeping it. Hush Hush. The reason I bought this is because I think it was like the same time that I bought this, Twilight. I was actually doing a read through of this with a few friends. I missed this whole phase. I didn't have this phase growing up. And I kind of like, I'm sad that I missed out on it. So I wanted to go back and have that phase. So I did read this. I think I watched the movie around the time that it came out, so I kind of like I'm familiar with it, but I just didn't have the phase, you know, that phase. So I have read it. Do I want to keep it? I don't think I do. I'm gonna put it in my maybe pile. That'll be a maybe. And then Hush Hush, I think I want to read. Like I don't think I'm gonna be keeping it, but I do want to keep it long enough to read because this is like apparently this was a book of the time. I'm keeping it. Summer in the Land of Skin. This is a book that I think is going to be sort of like Hush Hush, where I do want to read it. I don't think I'll be keeping it after I read it. I'll reevaluate. I want to read it before I get rid of it. We got a bunch more DVDs. By the way, this year I am on a book and like DVD, VHS buying ban. For the whole year, physical book buying ban. I got a Kindle this year, so I'm still getting mostly like Kindle Unlimited books, but I am allowing myself to do like audiobooks and ebooks. I'm banning myself from the physical media at this time. And then one more VHS. Most of that was DVDs and VHS tapes. We're moving on. So this bag is actually a bag of books that I am going to be giving away. So I'm just going to go through them really quickly and double check that I still do want to give these books away. So this is actually a book by an indie author, and I do have a separate section, not even on the bookshelf, for all of my like indie published books. The only reason I'm getting rid of this one is because I actually got 2 of them. I had bought a signed copy from her, and it didn't come, so I told her that it hadn't arrived yet, so she sent me another one, and then a little while later the other one showed up, so I have 2. So we'll give this away and hopefully someone will find it and fall in love with it. 1984, this is a double. I was on a thrifting spree and bought this book even though I already have it. Oliver Twist. I think I have this book in like 3 versions. I gotta double check. At least 2, but I think I have this exact version. I think this one was gifted to me, but I already had the title, so giving it away. The Secret. I don't think I read it. I think I get the gist of it. I think this is how far I got into it. I think I'm gonna be getting rid of a few of my like self-help type books from my shelf. I'm cured. I'm kidding, I'm really not. But I think the ones that I bought, like they're just, I don't know. I'm gonna go through them again, but I'm definitely a little bit more intentional with the self-help books and stuff that I get. So Huckleberry Finn, I do love, like I love these editions of these books, but I believe I have a different edition, like a different cover. So giving this one away. Making Movies. This is from my film school days. Read it, liked it, don't need it. There's actually a few things from my film school days. Cinematography, don't need it. Film editing, back when I thought I'd be going into like film and TV editing. Let me tell you right now, it's really hard for me to get rid of like reference books like that, like textbooks and stuff, because I'm just like a forever student and I'm always like, well, what if I want to like study it or like reference it or what is that? I have to stop doing that. I haven't looked at those books in years, so I don't need them. The Eye is Quicker, another editing book. Shot by Shot. Deadly Little Scandals. I don't know. This is apparently book 2 in a series that I don't read. I don't know. I think I grabbed this book from work. Sometimes at work, I work in props, so sometimes we like buy books for certain props or like certain things, and we'll like change the cover and whatever. I can't even remember what show I got this from. I don't remember what it was for, but I took it because it's a book, but I don't see myself reading this or anything anytime soon, so getting rid of it. This was gifted to me. I don't need it, so I'm gonna get rid of it. And then The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Loved it. I did like it, you know, it got me. But I don't know that I'll read it again. So I don't think that I need to keep it. I think I can give it away and then somebody else can find it and fall in love with it. So I'm getting rid of this one. We're making good progress here. Okay, next is a couple more. Here we go. I'm getting sweaty. Stephen King. I'm gonna double check, but I'm pretty sure I have a copy of this already. I definitely do have a copy of it, and I like this cover better, so getting rid of this guy. These two Stephen King books are two that I went and bought and replaced because I thought I had lost them. But while I was doing my deep clean, my declutter, I went through my storage locker, found these two. So I'm actually going to keep these and get rid of the newer ones that I bought. They're like, I'm pretty sure they're like the same editions, like same covers and everything. But I'm going to keep these because these are like the original ones that I actually touched and read. There was a while where I'd write the date of like when I would start and finish a book. May 2012, and I finished it August 2013. So I read it quite a few years ago. It's special to me, okay? So we're keeping those. Another version of Huckleberry Finn, I want to say this was gifted to me. And then I must have bought this one for myself, and then I bought the new version with the nice cover also for myself. Yeah, I bought this for school. It was part of my reading when I was in college. One of my classes, we had to do a bunch of reading, and this was one of the books. I remember liking it a lot. I don't think that I'll ever go back and read it again, so we'll get rid of it. This one got a little wonky, but I did read this one. I think it was fine. Oh, I even highlighted some things. Look at me. I think it was fine. I think I liked it. I don't see myself like going back to it ever, so I'm just gonna pass it on. Love in the Time of Global Warming. I read this, I want to say 2020. Yeah, it was part of my TBR jar pick. I think it was like fine. I remember it being fine, but definitely not a keeper for me. If you watched my last video where I'm like decluttering my bookshelf from 2020, that's where I got rid of this book, and I have yet to get rid of it. If that tells you how long I hold on to things, even things that I'm like, I'm giving this away, that's how long. But yes, again, giving this away. This was another book that I had to read in college, Mr. Pip. I did like it. I feel like I remember liking it. But again, not a book that I see myself going back to, so getting rid of it. In a Dark, Dark Wood, I read this. It was fine. I didn't love it. 2019, I read it. I'm gonna give it away, pay it forward, and then someone else can find it and like it. The Long Walk, I have another copy of this book that I like better, like the cover. So giving this away, I have read this. I enjoyed it, and yeah. More Stephen King. I need to double check that I have this one. I feel like this is the copy that I have. Yeah, this is my old copy. So definitely gonna keep this one. Harry Potter, this is the last book, Deathly Hallows. I feel like I did at one point have more of the books. I'm gonna keep it. I would like to eventually kind of like do a read through of all the books again. We'll see. I'm gonna keep it for now though. Water for Elephants, also another college read. I'm pretty sure I liked it, but I'm probably not gonna read it again. Stephen King, The Outsider, I literally bought this twice. Like I have the exact same version. I bought it twice because I have so many Stephen King books that I forget what I already own and what I still need. This is so incredibly niche. I don't even think, like, I think I'm like the only person who bought this book. Actually, no, I didn't even buy it. It was a gift. There was a show back when I was, I don't know, 18, 19, no, in my 20s. Yeah, 18, 19, 20, probably around there. 2009, 2010, I think. I'll have to look it up. But there was a show called Destination Truth. The host was Josh Gates, and it was just like, it was a cool show. It was a cool show, okay? So for a while, I was obsessed with the host. Like, I thought he was just so handsome. He has this kind of like Kermit the Frog voice, but like in a great way. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, I'm getting rid of this book. This is a book that I found again recently, and I'm keeping it because I'm a big Michael J. Fox fan, and keeping it. This is Absurd. And I did start reading it and I liked it. This is just more than anyone ever needs to know about Michael Jackson. So I think I'm gonna give it, this is like an encyclopedia. I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm getting rid of it. And then this, The Book of Gutsy Women. This is something also that I took from work because they were getting rid of it. So I took it because it's a book, but not for me. So I'm gonna get rid of it. Okay, so we have gone through the pile of books that were on the floor in front of the bookshelf. So I do have two other spots where I have books in my apartment. So I'm gonna go through those two first, and then we'll do the bookshelf. I don't even know if I'll get to the bookshelf today. I didn't think this through. It's already past 3, I think. I'm sweaty. I'm losing light. I'm kind of tired already. So we'll see how far I get. This might need to be a 2-parter, like a 2-dayer. We'll see. Also, my camera battery needs to charge, so we'll see how far I get. Okay? This is fun. This is definitely turning into more of a vlog. Thank you for coming along. Leave a comment down below if you made it this far in the video. Next stop is my indie published books. So this is what's going on here. I'm not giving this away. This is my book. We're not giving that away. Getting rid of these. That looks pretty good. This is our still keeping pile, but getting rid of all these. We love to see it. I'm gonna put them in a bin so that they don't give me anxiety just sitting there like that. Okay, so we're at my TV unit where I have a little shelf space for all of my self-published books. Not my self-published books, but books by indie authors. Geraldine's Alley, Becca C. Smith, Keeping, Obscure Origin. I think this is a series. This is the first book in a series. Sarah Hoffman. I haven't read any of these yet. I don't think I've read any of these. All the ones that I have read, I put into my already read shelf, which is a different shelf. So I haven't read any of these yet, so I'm gonna hold on to them. Twisted Fate. This is actually an old version. So Jessie Elliott is a friend of mine. Love her. Love you. Link it down below. This is an older version of her book because she recently did a re-release of this book, and I think she made some changes. So this is an older version. I'm gonna hold on to it because it feels even more special. This is the copy of the book that you saw earlier. This is the second copy of it, so I'm gonna keep that. The Stolen Kingdom by Bethany Adazada. I don't see myself reading this. And as much as I don't want to get rid of books that I've bought by indie authors, I think I need to let this one go. I'm sure it's great, I just don't think, it's not quite my vibe. So I'm just gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna pay it forward, give it to somebody else. This is another book that I think I'm gonna get rid of. This is Keeper by Kim Chance. This is just another book that I don't see myself reading anytime soon. Same with this, Beautiful Demons. This is a series by Sarah Cannon. I'm not a very big series reader. I need to get into series, but I don't think that this is gonna be one of the series that I read. Nothing against the author, nothing against the quality of the book. I just don't think I'm gonna be reading it anytime soon. So I am gonna get rid of this one. I'm gonna pay it forward, give it to somebody else who might enjoy it. This is also another one that I'll be getting rid of. The Cyborg Tinkerer. Okay, we're making room. Okay, we are making room. 100 Days of Sunlight. This is definitely not a book that's really my vibe. That's not really what I go for. I don't do YA romance all that much. I would like to read it, so I think I'm gonna hold on to it and I'll probably get rid of it after I read it. Highborn by Natalia Lee. I want to keep it until I read it. I don't think that I'll be keeping it after I read it, but I'm gonna hold on to it for now because I do want to read it. The Pecan Trees by Christina Moore. I haven't read it yet and I do want to read it, so I'm gonna hold on to it. This is In a Mirror by Emily Bourne. I love her. I think she's great, so I'm gonna hold on to this. Where will this fit? Then we have All the King's Traders by Keelan Rivers. I haven't read this book. I don't think it's not really my jam, but I do really like Keelan and I want to keep this book until I read it at least, and then maybe I can give it away, but for now, we're holding on to it. Dancing with Elephants by Kaylin Nicholson. So Kaylin Nicholson isn't an author tuber. She's a big lifestyle YouTuber on here. She's Canadian. That's kind of why I wanted to support her. This is her book of poetry. I have read bits of it. It's not really something that I feel like I need to keep, but I'm gonna hold on to it a little bit longer and read a few more pieces. It is beautiful. I do like what she did in here. So I'm gonna hold on to it for now, but it might be something that will be going in the future. The Anti-Virginity Pact by Katie Wismer. She's a big author tuber on here. I have met her in person. She's lovely. She's beautiful. She's just as beautiful in person. She's just great. So anyway, this is one of her many books. I think she's got 9 books out right now, but this is her first novel. I haven't read this one yet, but I do want to keep it. So holding on to that. These next ones, I'm definitely keeping all of these, and they're all basically poetry. So we got The Dogs I've Kissed, Paper Daisies, All the Wood She Watches Over, Honeybee. I should put this in a different section. This one's not by an indie author, and this one is also not. So I'm gonna move that over to the other side, but the rest are all indie published. Love in the Age of Quarantine, Sweetest Kind of Poison, Poems for the End of the World. Girl Isolated is also not indie, but I'll keep it. The Sun and Her Flowers, obviously also not indie published, so I'm gonna put that away. I do have this book. This is also poetry. I don't think I'm gonna hold on to this, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. Okay, so we have definitely made some room on my indie author bookshelf, which is lovely, and I'm definitely, once I'm out of this book buying ban for the year, I'm so ready to buy more physical copies of indie published books. I love them. Okay, on to the next shelf, which is basically, it's more of like my writing craft books and stuff like that, so it shouldn't take too long, but I'm gonna pull those books out and go through those. Okay, on to my more writing craft / reference books. I want to say this is from college days. Practical Grammar, Canadian Writer's Resource. It is a Canadian Writer's Resource, and I'm keeping it. Stephen King on writing. You already know. I'm keeping that. Story Genius. This is actually my latest edition. I was gifted this for Christmas, and I'm excited to dig into that one. Writer's Guide to Character Traits. Keeping. This one you know what? I need to get rid of at least one from this section, so it's gonna have to be this. Forms of writing. It feels like there's so much knowledge in here, and it's really hard to get rid of, but I haven't reached for this ever. In the Palm of Your Hand, The Poet's Portable Workshop, reference book. Keep it. These two books, I need to be quick because my battery's gonna die. Plot, and then characters and viewpoint. First of all, look at them. These are old, okay? These are two that I stole from my high school library, and I will not get rid of them. I don't even care. This, Proverbs, I'm gonna hold on to it just a little bit longer. How Not to Say What You Mean, a dictionary of euphemisms. I'm gonna hold on to it. Chambers Fact Finder. I don't know why I have this. It might have been a gift, but this is definitely like, I can Google things. So, oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna get rid of it. I don't feel good about it. No, I'll get rid of it. Ooh, I'm gonna get rid of this too. The Secret Life of the English Language. Ugh. Do I want to get rid of it right now? I don't have time for this. I'm gonna hold on to it a little bit longer. Save the Cat Writes a Novel. I'm gonna hold on to that. I haven't read most of these. I've like read bits of a lot of these, but I haven't really fully absorbed any of these, so I gotta hold on to them. Troubleshooting Your Novel. Holding on to that. On Editing, keeping. This book is also apparently another one that I stole from my high school library, On Idioms. I love this book, and I've gone into this book many times, so I'm gonna hold on to it. And then these three are definitely keepers. We have the Occupation Thesaurus, the Conflict Thesaurus, the Emotion Thesaurus. Almost done with this shelf, just a couple more books to go through, and I'm keeping all of these. This is Paranormal Powers. I specialized in screenwriting when I was in film school, so I do have a few more books on screenwriting. I'm gonna hold on to these because I do want to eventually write some screenplays. There's also this one, which I don't really need. Do I? I think I'm gonna get rid of this one because those other ones are really good, and I feel like anything that I could learn in here is probably in those as well. So, The Essential Guide to Getting Your Book Published. Holding on to that for now. This was a gift from an ex-boyfriend. It's not actually a book, so I'm gonna get rid of it for multiple reasons. This is a textbook from pre-film school college days, but I do like it, so I'm gonna hold on to it. This is one of my favorite books, okay? I think it was gifted to me from like an old manager at my first job ever at a grocery store. I think he gave it to me, but it's just got like a bunch of superstitions and like their origins. It's so cool. I love this stuff, so I'm gonna hold on to that. And then I have this textbook from my Psychology 101 class that I took in college. And even though it's old as hell, I took that course back in 2012, I wanna say. 2011? 2010. I don't remember when it was. Early 2010s. I'm gonna hold on to it because I sometimes do look at it when I try to remember certain things. So I'm sure I could Google most of this stuff, but I can't help it. If you got the textbook, you gotta keep it, right? That is officially all of my books that I have scattered around that aren't on my bookshelf. I don't think I have the energy to go through the bookshelf and to update my TBR jar. So yeah, that was day one, part one of my bookshelf reorganization and whatever else I'm calling it. I don't even know at this point. I will see you in a second for day two and actually going through and reorganizing the bookshelf and updating my TBR jar. Hello. It is the next day. I'm drinking tea in my favorite mug. It's a little bit later in the day than I meant to start filming this, but I had some really fun stuff going on this morning. And now we're gonna get into reorganizing my bookshelf. It's not gonna take that long. I feel like it feels more daunting than it is. It's not. It's mostly not changing. I've already cleaned my bookshelf, so I don't need to empty them off. I just need to go through and get rid of any books that I don't think I'm gonna be reading or just don't want anymore, and trying to fit. This is a pile of books here that I need to fit in there. It's not a crazy amount. It's not gonna be bad. It's not gonna take long. The thing that will take a little bit longer is when I have to update my TBR jar, which I will do once I've decided what books I'm actually keeping and all that stuff. But first, I'm gonna sip this tea. It's an Earl Grey tea. It's like the perfect temperature too. Anyway, I hope you have your beverage of choice in hand. I am gonna get started. First things first, up top I have my Stephen King collection. I have part of it. I have my TBR Stephen King collection up top. I'm not touching any of those. None of those are leaving, okay? At the bottom here, that whole shelf is Stephen King books as well, but those are all the ones that I've read. Okay, what do we got here? This book I need to find a home for. You can't really see, I'll show you later, but it's jammed pretty tight, okay? But maybe, oh, there you go. We're fine. I was so dramatic. It's fine. It fits. This one needs to go up top because I have not read it, so. Done. Moving along. These two, I am literally just replacing the two that are down there. I've read these two, so they're in my already read Stephen King section. These are the two that I bought to replace those copies. These are actually slightly newer and in better shape, but there's something about Stephen King books that I really I love when they're like used, like well worn, you know? Anyway, these are going into my giveaway pile because I don't need two exact copies, you know? Next are my 2 Michael Crichton books that I need to add to the collection. Currently I don't have all of my Michael Crichton books together, and I'm thinking I might want to do a little Michael Crichton section, you know? So that I'll definitely keep in mind when I'm reorganizing things. Right now I'm just making sure I have space. This sticker removal was not quite as successful, and now it's just sticky and I hate it. Ugh, that's so annoying. Okay, so up here, these 2 shelves, like I said, are my TBR Stephen King books. Those 2 shelves are done. Here, this is more, I guess my like classic lit and etc. Yeah, all these I still want to keep. I'm not getting rid of any of those. I do still want to read those, so I need to work my way through these. Here, this is the section where things need to change. So I'm gonna work on this section. Okay, so we're definitely keeping my D&D books, we're keeping dinosaurs, keeping these 30-second, these are actually kind of cool, 30-second psychology, and then I have 30-second mythology. We're definitely keeping this guy. Love Robin Williams. This is one of the books that I want to keep, like I really do. I'm keeping it. Getting rid of this one. I think I want to keep these 2 because I do still want to read them. I might get rid of them once I read them, but I do still want to read these. This is my book on the Lost Pharaohs. I'm really interested in Egyptology, and I wanted to start collecting books on Egyptology, so that's the beginnings of my collection. This is another book on dinosaurs, so I'm keeping that. This is a book that was part of my brother's collection of books that I stole when he moved out, so I do want to read it, so I'm going to hold on to it. Freddie Mercury biography, definitely keeping. I think I'm gonna get rid of these 2, and also this, and definitely this. I don't think I'm gonna read these. I think I might even have this on audiobook, so I don't need the physical copy. And I think I'm also gonna get rid of this one. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get rid of these. And I'm gonna keep this guy, so now I just need to readjust this. Okay, so with this shelf, there's nothing really that I wanna get rid of except I don't see myself reading this book. I've had it for years and nothing has made me want to pick it up. So this one is going. I think I'm actually going to get rid of The Forgotten Garden as well. I'm going to try to do this with one hand. Get rid of that guy. I don't see myself reading this book anytime soon, so we're going to get rid of it. As for the rest of these, there might be some that I'll get rid of after I read them, but for now I still want to read all these books. These down here are all of my poetry and miscellaneous books. I think I'm going to get rid of this one. I haven't read it all, but it's not quite doing it for me, so I think I'm just going to let it go. I think I'm going to get rid of this guy. I do like it, I just think that my time with it is done. It's over. And then honestly, I think everything else on here, even though there are some that I will probably get rid of, I do want to read all these first. The lighting's a little dark, but this is the Stephen King shelf of books that I have read already, so that's just staying there. I will never get rid of any of these ever. These are just like miscellaneous books. These are newer to my collection. I also have my binders for like life things and like my writing stuff on this shelf, so I'm only able to use a little bit of it, but I think I want to keep all of these until I read them. This shelf is all books that I have read except for these here. These are actually books that I've borrowed from people, so I just wanted to keep those front and center. One Final Vinyl by Savvy. It's an indie published book. I did like it, but I think I'm okay with letting it go. And then I think I'm gonna get rid of How Not to Die. I also have the audiobook, so if I do want to listen to it again, I'll just listen to it on audiobook. And I think that's it. So I'm gonna straighten all this stuff out. I'm gonna make room for the remaining books that I need to put on the shelves, and then I'm just gonna try to get like all my Michael Crichton stuff in one place. We'll see. All right, now it's time for the TBR jar. Okay, so I've gone through my TBR jar. I opened all the little pieces of paper. I'm gonna keep those. I got rid of any of the ones that were books that I'm giving away or books that I have read already. And so now I'm just gonna go through my books shelf by shelf and write down any that I don't already have a little piece of paper for. Okay, here we go. Took about 22 minutes. I have my titles. Now it's time to cut them out and then put them back in the jar. Okay, so we're finally done. I am exhausted. I can't believe that took 2 days to do. My back hurts, I'm thirsty, I'm sweaty, but I am so glad I'm done. I've been meaning to do that for like 2 years, like updating my TBR jar. 2 years at least. I've been like, I should probably update that. And now it's done and it feels so good. So as far as the count for the amount of books that I ended up getting rid of from these two shelves, 14. I thought I would struggle to get 5 books off the shelves, but I did pretty good, 14 books. I'm gonna put the total number of books that I ended up getting rid of in this video on the screen. And I do have some fun plans for how I want to let go of those books and where I want to donate them and stuff, but I'll be talking about all that in another video. This video is already, I'm sure, long enough. Let me know if you have a TBR jar or if you think it's a good idea to do something like that. I don't know where I saw it. It's definitely not something I came up with, but I do love it. I love the idea of it and it's been good to me. Thank you so much for watching, and if you got to the end of this video, comment down below, stay gold, because you are gold. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.